hope you're okay and had a really lovely weekend. We are back again for another week of online learning, and this week in English we're going to be looking at past and present tense verbs. Now, you might think that we've already learnt about things like that, but we are going to have some brand new learning. But today it's going to be nice and simple, getting you ready for tomorrow's more complicated lesson. But we definitely need to do today's first, okay? So our what for this morning is to understand what makes a simple past and present tense verb. Now the key thing there is simple, a simple past and present tense verb. So first question I'd like to think about before I show you, what is a verb? What is a verb? Okay, so a verb is a single word, so just one word, that describes an action or something we can do. A verb is a single word that describes an action or something we can do. So if I do this, it shows a wave. If I do this, it shows a dance. Okay, it's something we can do. We often call it a doing word. So first up, present tense. A present tense verb tells us about an action which is happening. So I'm going to show you some pictures and you're going to say the verb of what is shown on the picture. Here we go. Jump. Fantastic. Notice I'm not saying jumping, I'm just saying jump. Okay, what about this one? Remember, it's no ing word, I just want the verb on its own. Smile. Well done. Show me your big smiles. Amazing. Next one. What are these two doing? We dance. Fantastic. So I jump, I smile, we dance. Brilliant. They are all the root words to those verbs. So let's have a look at past tense. A past tense verb tells us about an action which has already happened. So it's not happening now, it's not happening tomorrow, it could have happened 10 seconds ago, a week ago, a year ago, but it is not happening now. So happening in the past. Okay, let's have a look then. We've got the same picture. What did I do? I jumped. Fantastic. Next one. I smiled. And finally, we danced. Can you show me a dance? Awesome. Okay, so you notice I did use the same verbs on each of those slides. So let's have a look at changing a verb from present tense to past tense. I have got a table above my head. Let's see if I can move me. Oh, look at that. Oh, not very well. Well, there's a table. Oops, over there. Okay. Now it will have a present and past tense. So we've got jump turns to jumped, smile turns to smiled, and dance turns to dance. So what do you notice when we turn a present tense verb into a past tense verb? Can have a little bit of a think. What happens at the end of those words? Okay, these all have the ed suffix at the end. So the group of letters at the end of the verb is always ed. Well, I say always, most of the time it is an ed. So dash becomes dashed. Look becomes, brilliant, you're right, it becomes looked. They end in that ed suffix. Okay, so what I would like you to do is to create your very own table. So you can see this table here. Oh no. There we go, give you a little sneaky peek there. You can see this table here. We have got our present tense verbs and our past tense verbs. And I would like you to tell me the missing one. So here I've got in the present tense, shout. So in my book, I would write number 1, and then because I've got a blank bit here where it says past tense, I will write the past tense verb. So shout becomes, okay. Number 2, I've got scream. Scream becomes what in the past tense. Love becomes something. Now number 4, you're still going to write number 4, but you're not going to write the past tense verb because I've already got it. You're going to write the present tense verb. So I would say, yesterday I laughed my head off. And today I would say, oh, you do make me something. And exactly the same, write in the present or the past tense, whichever one is missing. Now, I did accidentally go into the answers, so I don't want you to rewind and have a sneaky peek because I'm going to show you them now. So pause the video, complete this task in your books, and we'll go through the answers. Okay, here we go. So shout becomes shouted, scream becomes screamed, love becomes loved, laugh becomes laughed, challenge becomes challenged. The present tense of giggled is giggle, and 7, buzzed is our past tense and buzz is our present tense. So give yourself a little tick if you have got those words in red in your jotters. Okay, pause if you need a little bit more time. Amazing. So I did just say that most past tense verbs end in an ed, but it isn't always the case because we have other verbs called irregular past tense verbs and they haven't got an ed suffix. But we wouldn't change run to rund. We wouldn't say yesterday I runned in the park. We'd say yesterday I ran in the park. We've got eat. I wouldn't say I eated my breakfast. I would say I ate my breakfast. Okay, I wouldn't say yesterday I ring Miss Syton. I would say yesterday I rang Miss Syton. I wouldn't say I drinked my hot chocolate last night, would I? That sounds a bit funny. I would say I drank my hot chocolate. And finally, I wouldn't say I blowed up a balloon. I would say I blew up a balloon. You're right, fantastic. Okay, so you've got to be careful on noticing when it's going to be a suffix of an ed or an irregular past tense verb. Okay, right, are we ready for our next challenge? Okay, challenge number 2. We've got our present tense verbs and our past tense verbs. Okay, so exactly the same as before. Write 1, 2, 3, 4 in your books, and I would like you to write me the past tense verb that goes with that present, remembering that they are irregular. So we wouldn't say growed, we wouldn't say finded, we wouldn't say knowed, and we wouldn't say seed. What are the proper past tense verbs for those verbs? Pause the screen now, and then we'll go through the answers. Okay, here we go. So number 1, it is grew. Number 2 was found. Number 3 was new. And number 4 was saw. Oh gosh, that's rhyme. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. Okay, right. Give yourself a mark out of 4. I bet you did amazing at those ones. Are we ready for the next part? So, challenge number 3. I have written 3 sentences here, and I would like you to rewrite these sentences into the past tense. So, number 1, I walk to the shop. That is in present tense. It is happening now. Number 2, I see a huge tree out of my window. It is happening now. I want it in past tense. And finally, the man jogs around the park. Now, I want that to happen yesterday. So, what would it be? It wouldn't be the man's jogs around the park. It would be the man around the park. I've just realised I just said the man, jogs around the park. Okay, so that is your challenge number 3. Okay, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed that lesson and I will see you for more tomorrow. See you later.